Hello YouTubers, it's your boy Miltnificent back for another segment of the HTC 4G design. I realized in the first video that I did that the imaging was kinda iffy, so I had to balance the dark lighting, etc, so you can see the phone as it is right now. It's obviously you can clearly see it. The reason why I want you to look at more so at the phone in this segment is basically because we're going to concentrate on the camera functionality of the phone. So you're going to talk about the camera, the video camera, etc. I wanted to actually go over the effects, because I'm pretty sure not many people are familiar. I wasn't familiar with the effects until I read up on it. So I'm going to summarize this video, make it fast, not as long as the previous video. I'll also go over a program called Alice, which is like a Siri type program where you can ask it some questions, it'll respond to you. It's not as responsive as Siri, similar to Siri, so we'll go over that. We'll also go over the face unlock feature that is available with Ice Cream, which I failed to recognize until I actually looked on the phone and said, holy crap, face unlock is available. I'll show you how to activate that. And last but not least, we'll go over a screenshot, which is I guess the latest craze in the phone option. So let's see, where should we start? So let's get started on the camera. Okay, get this in focus. I try to focus this as much as possible. So here's our camera. All right, we're gonna go to, not there because that looks like a photo. We're gonna go to the top left hand side and you'll see the effect screen. I'll get to that in a minute. It kind of made a noise. I think it's called autofocus, but anyway, back to the effects. The first one I wanted to go over was distortion. I'm not sure if you can see it. You should be able to see it. Take a look at my hand. Weird, creepy. No, you're not on drugs. You're not drunk. You are seeing it as it is. It's just a distorted picture. Makes for some good, interesting drunk photo moments. Pretty sure we've been in a couple of those. I'm not going to get too much. Again, I'm trying to make this as fast as possible. So distortion is basically what it sounds like. It's just distorted. It's a distorted picture. You take it, makes funny pictures. So the next one is what they call a vignette picture. So basically, here, let me take my hand off. You're taking a photo, and let's say it's a photo of your baby, child, whatever the case may be. You want the center of the image to be the primary focus of your photo. You can just take a photo, and as you can see, the four corners of your picture will be botched out, basically blocked out, per se, because they want you to focus on the center of the picture. So you'll get the full picture just like this, it's just centered out. And that actually leads me to the next effect, which is called depth of field. Let me take that away. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a thin circle right in the middle of the picture. It's similar to the last effect. The only difference is that you have control of where you want to move and then center the picture. So for instance, if I take a picture right now, everything beyond this circle will be blurred out. And sort of like Instagram. Actually, it is like Instagram. I think it's one of the effects of Instagram. The only thing is that you have control of it. You can control where you can define the picture, and you want the picture to be, the center of. You get the point. The circle is basically your primary focus. Anything out of it is a blur. All right. So the next effect. This is pretty cool. Actually, haven't gotten a chance to see myself in the dotted image form. it looks kind of weird. Basically, it is what it is. It just takes a photo and you're basically pixeled throughout the whole scheme, so that's obvious. Your vintage effect. If you're maybe too young, if you're watching this video, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But there were some old, very old cameras that kind of used that, I'll put it this way. There was a picture that came out of the camera, alright? And it was a long time ago, very long time ago. I don't want to bore you. But if you took a snap, you snapped a picture, it wasn't digitalized. It had like a paper thing that would just come out. You go, you know, it's what they call the vintage effect. And it basically, instead of it taking like a high definition picture, it basically just gives it like a retro feel to it. You know, like old 70s, mid 80s type of picture. It's pretty cool. This is pretty much the same thing with the vintage cold, vintage warm. Only difference is that it changes the hue of the color. Still that same retro effect, but it just changes the hue. So let's see, our next one is grayscale. It pretty much is what it is. It's basically a mixture of black and white put together. A great picture. So of course, if you look at me, sure. It's weird doing this with the camera and a camera within a camera, so just bear with me. But that's basically the grayscale effect. We'll move on to sepia, which is like the grayscale effect, but it gives it a brownish coloring. Trying to think of some similar. You ever seen like a camera? What you call that thing? Red room, right? And you take a photo, you lift it up, and oh crap, the photo's ruined. Sort of like that. Move on to the next negative. Negative. Every other camera that you know and probably own, it pretty much has the same effect. Just think of it like all your light colors become dark, and vice versa. That's what the negative effect. And then hopefully you can see this. Let me see. That looks scary. I'll turn myself around, and yep, that's me. That's me. Solarize is similar to a certain point. When you use the solarize effect, you're looking at the images behind you, and as you can see, this light bulb produces a warm temperature. And watch what happens as soon as it gets to the light. You can see it. It basically just it focuses on the warm images. So if I took a picture of the sky, it would be something similar to what the light is shining right behind me right now. But it's just a mixture of that negative effect. Just think of it in terms of temperature of the photo. So that's a pretty cool feature. Moving on. Posterize is basically a combination of the two. It's like take this off. It's can't even see me. It's basically like a combination of solarize and negative effect put together. Just think of those two put together in terms of this effect. So, and let's see what we missed. Last but not least, our aqua effect. Basically, it just gives the picture quality a blue hue in the background. Actually, throughout the picture. Why you would use this effect? Yeah, I'm not a photographer, but to each his own preference and all that good stuff. Okay, now you heard that zoom. I'm not sure if you heard closely, but if you have a photo, you're about to take a photo, and autofocus is a little shaky. You point to any area of the photo or the camera, and it'll autofocus in that area. So basically, you're able to take your pictures a lot faster. You don't have to wait for the camera to focus. You can just press where you want it to focus on. It'll focus on it, boom, it'll take the picture. It's a pretty cool feature. Let's see. Now, the bottom of this phone right here on this side, there's a nice little A, and it represents the scenes. So if you press the, actually, good note here, scenes is grayed out for me because I have the effects still on. So I'm going to turn the effects off, and use no effect, and now I have the option to select a different scene. You may or may not be able to see it well, but the first one I'll go over is a regular portrait, regular photo size. The first scene is here I am stumbling here. The first scene is basically like, just think of it as a normal picture. You're just taking a picture, boom, it's a snapshot, it's a portrait. The second scene is landscape. So I mean, if you're one of those photographers and you go out and you're taking a picture of, I don't know, a building, it'll give it that landscape scenery feel. And if you have no idea what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying, you can Google it, and it's a long definition, and it's just basically what it is. It's a landscape. So let's see. Somebody just texted me. Action burst. This is a very cool feature. I'm actually going to sit up just for this so you can see what it does. Action burst takes 5 snapshots in one shot. You can pick the best picture out of those 5, or you can select all 5, upload them to Facebook, etc., etc. I'm going to do it right now, actually, just to show you. Okay, it'll process it. You'll probably see it at the bottom. And there it goes. So it basically takes all 5 photoshots, and you have the option to, I want to select all of them, to share them with your Facebook, Gmail, etc., etc. But it's pretty, I don't know why you would bump it, but it's a pretty cool feature. I like that. Let's see, what else is our effect? Our next effect will be panorama. Panorama is a cool feature, because if you're going to take a picture, I don't know, you're going to start it this way, basically it takes your photo and just think of like an image. Like all of this is one photo, but its primary focus will be from here to here. It's like a nice long rectangle, and you can take different screenshots of that image. So it's pretty cool. And I think our last scene is, oh, we got 2 more. I'm sorry, we got 3 more actually. It's called a blacklight HDR, which I think stands for high dynamic rendering, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that. Yeah. So just think, it basically high dynamic rendering. You're taking a picture, and I don't know, you're looking at the background. It'll basically take, how can I explain this without, okay, there we go. Here's my definition. I'm just paraphrasing. It just basically takes the photo, and it takes certain images in the photo and brings it out. The lighting brings it out. So you're getting the best high definition picture possible on the phone. It's a pretty cool feature. It does require, and I think it does eat up a little bit more of your memory on the phone, but it's a rich picture. So let's see, what's the next scene we have here? Whiteboard. I'm not sure why anybody would use this. I mean, it's just a picture with, let's just say if I take a picture right now, you'll basically just see whatever's white behind me enhanced, and it's like a white enhancement of the picture. I don't know. Yeah. The next one is a close-up. So if you take a close-up picture of you, which is odd, if you see that blinking light, that's actually your notification light. It does blink green if somebody texts you or Facebook sends you something. That's your notification light, which is blinking green. What happens if I do take a close up? Oh, that is one crazy picture. I guess it just defines. More defined. I like that. Yeah, that's a bit too defined. So if you hold the camera up to your eyeballs, or not sure why you would do that, but if you hold it up close to your face, you will get a rich, high definition picture of the bumps and acne and all types of pimples and stuff like that on your face. It will be clearly seen on this picture, which is for a 5 megapixel camera. That's pretty good. Let's see. Low light, which I think is also a pretty cool feature. If you're in it, just think of yourself in an area, okay? By the way, all these effects can be found again at the top. If I click on here, which I'm not clicking on. Oh, I gotta take off scenes. We'll turn that to auto effects. There you go. Effects can be found on the top. You can move it around. I'm pretty sure you've seen it with other videos, so I'm not going to get too much in that. But back to that last scene, low light. If you're in an area where there's somewhat of a, you have some lighting in the background, but you know, at times when you use the flash on the phone, which I'll turn on right now. All right. And auto and on. Yeah, now it's on. I'll get to that in a minute. But if you're in a low light area and you have somewhat of a good lighting to see just enough of you in the picture, it'll enhance that. It'll bring out the brightness of that picture, so you have a good crisp shot. You don't have to use the flash. That'll probably mess up the shot because of too much brightness conflicted with the, I guess, the subpar brightness in the background. I've seen it before. Actually, this scene right here would be a good scene to take that type of low light picture. You'll probably look at it'll look like this, but better lighting. All right. So if I go to, we're gonna switch to the video camera function, which I wanted to show you something. If you hit mode at the bottom of the phone, you'll have the option to use the front or the back of the camera. The front, for a 1.3, I think they said megapixel, it's not that bad. It's pretty good, but it's really not that interesting. You'll probably use it for your face chat, which I will try to get coordinated with the Google Plus and the Uvu. Let me see what else. Can't think of the top of my head, but I'm gonna try to use different video imaging so you can see what the front-facing camera looks like in real time. Another phone, another provider, etc., etc. But anyway, again, if you hit mode on your phone, you'll get the option to go to the front camera or the main camera, and also go back on the freaking screen. You'll have the photo option. You'll have the camera option. I'm saying photo option. You have the camera option, or you have the video option, which we will go to. And now we're at the video camera option. I'm not going to go too much into the effects because they're pretty much as similar as the camera. But I will add that if you take let's say we record a session. Let's record a session right now. We're recording a session, la la la. This is us on Facebook. Hi Facebook, hi YouTube, Twitter, and all that good stuff. Say I take I just recorded a video. I'm gonna go to my gallery, which we found at the top, and there it is. Somewhat. If I press play. let's say I didn't want all of that to be sent to one of my friends, uploaded on Facebook, etc., etc. If I hit the menu button, which is right here, I hit it again, didn't hit it, you see that I have a, let's focus this in, a share, edit, and a more option. If you hit edit, you can trim the video. Thank you HTC, or I think it was Ice Cream, or one of you guys, for adding that on. Because if I go to trim, it'll take me to that video. I can select at what point I want to trim that video. So if I want it just to show the first, I don't know, 3 seconds of the segment, select done. It'll trim the video to the first 5 seconds. I go back into my gallery, I can select the 5-second video and send it to whomever. Love the trim feature. Now, I'm not sure why you would use this portion of the video camera. Under quality, there's a cool feature that they have that they added on. It's called slow motion 2 times. So basically what that means is it'll take what you record in real time and slow it down. I don't know. It's your intervals, basically, times 2. So it's slowed down just a bit. I'm going to show you, which most people may or may not know. Let's move on to screenshots. Now, screenshots, obviously, if you recall, the gingerbread, you had to, unless you had a rooted version or you paid for the app, like I did, you do have the option to do screenshots with Ice Cream because it's built in. How you activate that, you hold down the volume key, the volume down key, and then you hold the power button at the top simultaneously, basically at the same time. And check this out. That I did not hold down at the same time. Kind of hard to do it from this angle, so I'll try it again. There you go. What it'll do, it'll take a screenshot of whatever you have on there at that given time. You can access your screenshot through your gallery because there's a big section in the gallery that's labeled screenshot. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature. Now it does have face unlock on here, and this one I didn't know about and I should have known about, but it's kind of, I think they did bring that out on the Ice Cream page when it first came out, but everybody completely forgot about it, and it does draw away a little of the battery. So I'll show you how to activate it. So check this out. If you go to the settings of the phone, you'll go to settings, alright, and you go to security. Go to security, and at the top there's an option that says screen unlock. Okay, and if you look at the second option, I'm not sure if you can see it, but the second option right there, face unlock, and which is what I didn't press. Go back, face unlock. You'll have the option to set up your face, whatnot. It'll scan your image of your, I guess, your face, and it'll give you step-by-step directions on how to set it up, which is pretty cool. I'd rather not set mine up. Did it before. It's a pretty cool feature, but again, it will eat up your battery. Not a lot, but just enough. Let's see. I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to tackle. Ah, save the best for last. Another cool feature. It's the last one that I'm going to do for the day. It's a program called Alice. Alice is like a knockoff Siri, but it's a work in progress, but it's okay. It's pretty cool. So I'll go and we're going to open that up real quick. I put Alice on right here. Let's see. I'll press the button. Text my wife.
I only hear that type of response less than 5% of the time.
How many days are in a year?
365.242199 days.
What's today's weather?
The weather will be chance of showers between 17 and 23 degrees.
Now, if you notice, I'm not sure if you caught on to that. It popped up in Celsius. You can change it to Fahrenheit. I'll change it to Fahrenheit later on. Trying to think. Oh. Launch Bank of America app.
Okay, starting Bank of America.
Siri, you can't do that. Can't launch, I don't think so. But can't launch applications. Let's try. Text Lauren, my wife. And it just picked up call care. Oh, here's another one. Play Wiz Khalifa. It's weird. Text Lauren, my wife. Ah, there we go. There, I think I'm going to leave. Not sure if you can see that, but I can hit. There you go. I'm gonna hit send. So, or you can say send. Send, and it'll send. So,
Okay, I will not send the message.
don't send that message. Other than that, that pretty much summarizes what certain things that I missed. We just basically, to summarize this video, we just basically went over the camera functions, the video camera functions, took a look at the screenshot, which is pretty cool, how to unlock the phone with face unlock, and also Alice. I'm telling you, if you get that app, I believe there's a free version, a bunch of ads, a bunch of ads are on top of it, and a paid version, which is the one I have. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them on there. I'll answer them. I think that just about does it. So it's good talking to you. See you, and have a nice one.